Hello and welcome to the Pain Points Podcast. I'm your host, Christian, and this week we're going to talk about the Google Business Profile. The whole heart and method behind this podcast is to really be able to give advice and tips to grow your painting business or to sustain your painting business, make your painting business more professionalized, with tips and tricks and just things to do that are either free or low cost. I have found over the past couple of years that a lot of these solutions for contractors in general are super expensive. I mean, when you're doing somewhere between $100,000 to $200,000 a year in that range, and you're being asked to spend $36,000 a year on SEO, that's kind of out of your price range. Those vendors, I'm sure they're offering a good service, but it's just not priced. Their target market, just like we have a target market, isn't the little guy. They're looking for somebody $1 million and up, and that's fine. So I have interviewed with or spoken to probably about a dozen different marketing companies over the past 2 years. So my story for digital is I've always had a Facebook. I've had a Instagram for I probably went 2 years without an Instagram, and then I adopted Instagram, adopted LinkedIn. I don't use that very much. And then about 4 years ago, I went ahead and I started my website. So on the website, I wound up doing a handshake deal with a friend of mine, and I had him build it. He is in the website building space. That's what he does as a profession. He's very good at it, highly qualified. But the issue was that this was like a side gig for him. So it wasn't top of priority. It turned out beautifully, but he focuses more on the front end as opposed to the back end. So over time, it just wasn't converting the way that I would have expected something like that to convert. So fast forward, and now I have switched my website out. I don't know why I'm talking about website. And I'll finish this story and move on. So swapped out my website for a new service that is hosting that, and I'm very happy with the results. But in conversing with them during the initial startup, and also I've had a couple of more conversations this week with that company on managing and managing my website. We came across the topic a couple times of the Google Business Profile. And the thing that's nice about the Google Business Profile, and it's probably the most attractive thing about it, is it is free. That's right. It's free. So you may be asking yourself, if you're not familiar with the term Google Business Profile, this is also formerly known as Google My Business. I think it was about 18 months ago, from the date of this podcast, from the date of this recording, Google rebranded Google My Business to the Google Business Profile. Two major changes happened with that. Is one, they eliminated the app. It was a standalone app that you could access. And then two, they put it more a part of Google Maps. So you can access everything on the Google Business profile through Maps, also through your Gmail account when you click on the options. So I'm going to, before we go ahead and share screen, because I always want to kind of walk you through these in case you have any questions as far as where to start. Why is the Google Business Profile so important? The statistics are that 90% of people use Google as their number one search engine. I mean, to the point that if someone says Google it, they're telling you to look it up online. It's dominated the online search industry to the point that their brand name has become a verb synonymous with searching online. So just keep that in mind. Google is king when it comes to digital. If you want to get noticed and noticed often, this is the groundwork. This is where you want to start off at. So with the Google Business Profile, it is the equivalent of having your name in the phone book 20 years ago. So that's critical. If you want to get found, this is how you're going to get found. Before you do a website, before you do anything digitally, as you're setting up your business, go ahead and set up your Google Business Profile. So with that being said, let's go ahead and share the screen. Let's go here. And here we go. So if you go to google.com/business, you'll see the business profile here. So you can sign in, create an account, manage it from here. And it's really curtailed to restaurants, retail, or in our case, services, since we are a service-based business and we want to get found online. What's nice about it, we'll go into mine right now. So once you have yours set up, this is what it's going to look like. It's going to have some analytics right here, so just a quick dashboard, profile strength. Essentially what this is indicating is how much of my profile do I have filled out. The less you have filled out, this will turn to yellow and red. So I've filled every field out. Just a quick little tip. I'll probably say this a couple times throughout this podcast. If there's a field for you to enter in information, enter in information. It's better to have something in there now, gaining traction, and you can always edit it later. Just don't do misinformation. And then as we go down, it gives you options on how to manage your profile. On the right-hand side, this is something similar to what clients will see when you pop up in the local pack. It'll show some photos. Or over here, it's showing my service area. I service a 15-mile radius from where our shop's located on the south side of Lake Monroe in Sanford. And it's also showing some call to actions over here, more pictures. You can use this just like you would use social media when you're posting. You can show services. You can comment and reply to Google reviews that your clients are leaving you. So it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's very feature rich. So there's a lot of features that you can do with it, and it makes it it's a super easy process. So a couple things that you want to keep in mind when you're doing your Google Business Profile is, one, you want all of your information to be consistent. So as you're starting your Google Business Profile, make sure maybe even jot it down, write the name of your company. In this case, the Paint Professor, space LLC. That has to be consistent across all platforms that I'm going to be posting something about the business. If we have the Paint Professor or the Paint Professor with no comma LLC or the Paint Professor Corp, Google's going to recognize those as different entities, and it's going to lower the validity of what my business is. Or another easy point to get tripped up is the phone number. If you have your work phone, like your cell phone, listed in some areas, and then your shop phone listed in other areas, or the office number, or an 800 number, and each time you're posting a different number, that is going to go against your ranking overall in Google, and you're not going to pop up as high when clients are searching for the service that you offer. Also keep in mind that you're going to want to list specifically the main category that you are in. So even if your company is, like, say, for example, TPP Services, and the name of your business does not describe what you do, that's okay. You have to determine what your main service that you provide. So let's say TPP Services does painting and pressure washing and landscape, and offers other things either through divisions, or I'm just spread out that much. I have to determine what my main category is. For me, my main driver is painting. So I'll put house painter down under my category, and then after that I can put subcategories that I'll still rank for, but I'm not going to rank as high because I have that main category, that main service that I want to show up for listing number one. So we talked about consistency in your name, consistency in your phone number, consistency in the category that you're in. And when so for example, let's go ahead and we'll open a new window, and I'll just say exterior painter Sanford, because that's an area that I'm in. So here we go. This is what a client is going to see. Now, granted, I didn't do this in an incognito window. This is something that I search for regularly. Google knows that I want to see the paint professor. I look at my website on a regular basis, so it's doing its job to give me the information that it thinks that I want, and the paint professor is ranking that high because of that. So, but this is a good simulation of what your client will see when they're scrolling through exterior painting Sanford. It's giving you the results. So we actually rank second for exterior painting. It's showing right here that Paint Professor provides exterior painting. A client would not see this, that I manage the profile, because it's my view. It also shows how many years in business you are. If you are currently in business and have been performing work, and you do not have your Google business profile set up, this weighs a lot. So the best time to plant a tree is 10 years ago. The second best time is today. Set this up today and go ahead and put and put your profile in so that you can start getting credit for your years open in business. And also notice that here there is a click link to the website. Because I'm a service-based business and I do not have a storefront, there's no directions here. However, some of these contractors, they do have a storefront, or they're putting their home address here that's showing, and people can get directions to that location that you provided. I have omitted that and made it hidden because my personal life is my personal life. And if you want to hide it, you absolutely can hide it. Now let's talk about the website. Again, we started this episode off talking about how the Google Business Profile is so amazing because it's free, but here there's a link to the website. The cool thing about this is, even if you don't have a website, still do this so that you can start getting credit, so you can start gaining traction in the algorithm in your local area for Google. And over here on your website, when you fill out that information, you can actually link to your Facebook business page. That's another key, is set up your Facebook business page. It's another free option that you can control and make sure that all the information is the same. The name, how you spell it, if you use any characters like commas or not, the number, your phone number, hours of operation, services provided. Make sure all of that is consistent. And until you can either get the budget or find the right vendor to provide this service for you for the website, you can always link back to your Facebook page. So that's a really, really good tip. So coming back here, a couple other places, like for example, here the search key was the Paint Professor, which is my company. Here's some other areas that we have listed. So the first thing that ranks, which is a good thing, is, well, it's Google. Google's going to rank first for search options for that because they are in the business of making money, and anything they can do to keep you on their page, they're going to rank first. So Google gets the most weight. The second best weight is my website. Now, again, my website's been around for about 4 years. You can find it at thepaintphd.com. So it took about 6 months when I developed the first rendition of, or the first version of my website. It took about 6 months for my own website to rank number 1. In my area, next door is second, then Facebook. It shows for the Facebook page, LinkedIn, my bio as a business owner, and then some other websites, Better Business Bureau, Alignable. That's kind of similar to LinkedIn. If you're not familiar with it, I don't use that too much, but any other citation site that you can get your business on is going to help. It's going to help your rankings. So, and those are the ones that are showing under the Paint Professor. So again, all those other sites, they don't hurt, they help, because now what Google is doing is it's combing over all of these other major sites, Nextdoor, Facebook, LinkedIn. These are huge organizations, huge sites, Better Business Bureau, Alignable, Yelp. They're looking at all of these websites, comparing the information that you have there versus over here. They're also checking your reviews, seeing how recent you've had reviews, how interactive, when was the last time you posted. All of these things help your ranking, not only for your own keywords, but also for any other keywords that may be related to your category. So that's all I have today for the Google My Business. Again, I'm just sharing with you what I've learned over the last few years, what I've heard from podcasts and other marketing gurus when it comes to digital marketing. I'm not a digital marketer myself, but if you have any questions over the stuff that we've gone over today, if there's any way that I can help, feel free to reach out. Again, I really appreciate everybody listening. I appreciate any feedback or any questions or comments that you may have, or any suggestions for future topics. If you're an owner-operator running just one crew, let me know. I'd love to talk to you, and let's figure out what your pain points are and how we can work through those together. So if you haven't already, make sure to like, share, follow, subscribe to the channel wherever you're listening to. And I will talk to you guys next week. All right. Thanks. Bye.